Welcome all of you. My today's lecture topic is structure and functions of eukaryotic cell. First we could see the definition of a cell. A cell is the smallest unit that is capable of performing life functions. So hence the cell is called as a basic unit of life. And we saw some examples of cells starting from the amoeba, bacteria, plant, RBC, nerve cells and so on. Basically, cells can be broadly classified into prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. In this session, we are going to focusing on the eukaryotic cells. And eukaryotic cells contain the organelles surrounded by the membranes. Most of the living organisms like plant and animals are having the eukaryotic cells. The primitive structures like bacteria are having the prokaryotic cells, and the basic difference between both of them are the membrane-bound cell organelles. This is the structure of typical animal cell, and this is the structure of typical plant cell. And hereafter we could see the functions and structures of these cell organelles one by one. The first one is which is surrounding the cell, that is cell membrane. The outermost membrane of the cytoplasm is called a cell membrane. It is a double membrane surrounded by a lipid bilayer. The major function of this membrane is transmitting the nucleic particles out and into the cells. In eukaryotes, the cell membrane could be a semi-permeable one. And the next one is cell wall. It is the outermost layer of the cell which gives the structural integrity to the cell. It gives rigidity, it gives protection to the cells. Most commonly it is found in plant cells and bacteria. Usually animal cells do not have a cell wall. And inside the cell, the first one is nucleus. So nucleus is, we can also call it as a master of the cell because it contains the DNA, that is the genetic material of the cell, because each and every functional element, like proteins, has to be synthesized from the nucleus. So the nucleus is having the DNA, they are holding the DNA. From that DNA only, we can get the functional proteins. Next one is the nuclear membrane. The nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear membrane, which is a double layered one, which allows the materials to enter and leave the nucleus. And the next one is chromosome. When we talk about the bacterial cell, the DNA will not contain any structural organizations. They just like that present in the cytoplasm. But in the eukaryotic cell, since it is a well-developed and complex cells, the chromosomes of the eukaryotic cells are organized as a chromosomes. Okay? So in every cell, every eukaryotic cell, the chromosomes have DNA has a structural organization called chromosomes. So the number of chromosomes will be varied among the eukaryotic cells. The next one is cytoplasm. It is a gel-like matrix. It is present almost, it covers inside area of the cell. All the cell organelles are embedded in the cytoplasm. It also contains nucleus in all the elements of cells are embedded in the cytoplasm. And the endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum is present around the nucleus. Usually it will be occurs in two types. One is smooth type, another one is rough type. In smooth type, the surface of the ear lacks the ribosomes. In the rough type, the surface is completely covered with the ribosomes. So based on that, we can separate the function of them as the smooth type endoplasmic reticulum usually involves in the lipid metabolism, and the rough type endoplasmic reticulum usually involves in the protein synthesis and all. The next one is ribosomes, the important elements of protein synthesis. The DNA is carrying a message to synthesize a protein. They produce mRNA. That mRNA should be translated with the help of ribosomes into proteins. Then only the functional proteins can be synthesized and function in the cells. Next one is mitochondria. Yes, as all we know, it is also called as the powerhouse of the cell because they are involving in most of the energy generation process like oxidative phosphorylation and so on. It also recycles and decomposes the proteins, fats and carbohydrates. The major energy source to the cells are supplied by the mitochondria. And the Golgi bodies, yes. After the proteins got synthesized, the packaging of the proteins and sorting of proteins occurs in the Golgi bodies. Yes. After the protein synthesis occurs, the proteins reach the Golgi bodies and protein packaging happens, and after that they got transported all over the body. And lysosomes. Yes. So lysosomes usually have digestive materials like enzymes. Well, most of the hydrolytic enzymes are present in lysosomes. They are also involving in this kind of protection against the outside materials. They digestive plant for proteins, fats and carbohydrates and transports undigested materials to the cell membrane for removal, and cell breaks down. Lysosome explodes because it has a hydrolytic enzyme. If it is broken down, all the elements of the cell got digested. The vacuoles, membrane-bound sacs for storage, digestion and waste removal, contains water solution, helps in maintaining the shape. Chloroplast. Chloroplast is a important eukaryotic cell organelle, but it is present only in the plant cell, not in the animal cell. They also have pigments for the photosynthesis. So all the plants are doing photosynthesis with the help of chloroplast. They contain lots of pigments. Thank you.